Hello everyone, this is Bro S of the Halodoc Bro signing in, doing another figure unboxing. Just the other day I got in Figma 314 Leafa from Sword Art Online. It says, I'll zoom in, it says Sword Art Online 2, but she was in the ALO, or in Alfheim Online, the same season as Sword Art Online, the first season, but the second part of the series. And she is Kirito's cousin, but acts like a sister, and initially doesn't know who he is in the series and so on, in the game at least. So, but let's go over some of the stuff on the box. That's the top, that's the side, it's the back, the other side, and the bottom, of course. And lastly, well, I'll get partway through it, but I have the pre-order bonus. I'll go through that here in just a moment. But let's get her unboxed. So part of the reason I do this is because, I say this in almost every video, I want to, if I need to put it back together, I want to know how to put it back together. And this is the easiest way. I can always rewatch an old video and see how it goes. So there's her in the packaging. So it looks like we've got a sword, we've got some sort of necklace pendant, two faces, and the wings. This should go fairly quickly like it did with both Kirito and with ALO Kirito and ALO Asuna. Let's see what we got here. So we've got Leafa herself. Looks like she's got a piece of... Nope, no plastic. Never mind. Thought there was a big chunk of piece of plastic hidden underneath there. She's got plastic on the hair. Okay, so the hair just separates real easily. Pull off this plastic. Put that back on. So it's shaped just like a standard arm joint, it looks like. Let's move her arm up. Arm joints. Move this one up. And I do like most of the other ones, I do like the not the billowing cape, but the cape does have movement itself. Alright, now that I've got most of the plastic wrap off, she's got the standard knee joint, she's got the thigh highs, but I don't understand why not just make a complete complete stockings. Like, why cut them off right there? And then anyway, it's a game, I understand, I know. And then these two pieces move independently, although I can't really, there's little joints in there, but there's not much room. There's not much room for movement at all. Alright, and then she's got the holster there for her sword. So let's get all that stuff set up. But before I do that, let's go over what's left in the box. So these are all taped in here. So this is a little pendant. This is the hilt to the sword. Or not the hilt, but the sheath. This is the sword itself. We'll go over. So we've got surprised face. Last we've got angry, screaming face, which she seems to do that a lot in the series. So you've got the wings. I know they're kind of wonky and delicate. Just pull these out. Get a better view of those overall. And lastly, we've got, I'll go over what's in the bag rather than open them up. So we have we have 9 hands now. Or maybe not 9. Oh, never mind. I got that mixed up. So there's the extra pieces. Not extra pieces, but the extension to this if I need it. 7 hands technically, because one is a joint hand with Kirito, which I will go over and put on. And then the base and the stand itself. Let's get her all set up. Oh, and of course the bag. Alright, and I'll go over the instructions really quickly here. So, is this the Japanese side? It is. So let's switch to the English side. Sword sheath, sword drawn, holding hands. So this little peg here is, a little peg right here. The top is for the wings themselves. And the head comes off to put the pendant on. So I'll do that, put on the sword, or put the sheath on the side, put the sword in her hand and get her posed. We'll go for... I will try and aim for like this top pose right here. So I decided to switch faces and go more for this sort of pose. I can't bend her too far forward. She's a little unbalanced like many of the flying or in the air Figmas kind of are. So it's a little challenging to balance her. But so far it's, yeah, like I'm liking the figure itself. It's easily posable. There's these ball joints for the arms. So I didn't want to move it too far forward, but even just moving it up a little bit caused the arm to pop out a little bit, which was nice to figure out really quickly, I guess, but it popped right back in, so made it nice and easy. It didn't break off or anything like that. Before I get too much farther, I wanted to go over the what's in here. So this is another face altogether. So it's just sort of a ing face, I'll say, or just looking off to the side. I'll pose her and try and aim for another, and put this on here and see what it looks like on her. So I put the pre-order bonus face on her, trying to aim more for it like this. The pendant is cool, but the string on it just makes it flop around, so it never really stays in place. So it's not useless. I'm going to leave it on her, but for making a pose like this, it's challenging because I can't bend the arm, or I can't get the string out far enough, or I can't bend the arm far enough up. In addition to that, there's a little portion of the sword that I accidentally left in there last time, which you can take out and have just be... You can take off the hilt of the sword and just have it like this. So let's do a quick close-up of that. So that's what it looks like with just the hilt there in the sword. Let me move the arm out of the way ever so slightly. And the hilt just pops off. If it just, yeah, the hilt just pops off like that, and it leaves a little geometric shape there to basically show that like the sword is sheathed, but the sword itself does not fit in the sheath. So I'm not complaining too much, but it would have been nice if the sword actually fit inside the sheath. They would have probably cut down on a little bit, but oh well. Lastly, I wanted to do the joint hands between her and Kirito, which actually turned out pretty nice. I wanted to also do the confused face, because that's how I have a feeling that she would be once she figured out who Kirito really was. Maybe not, I mean, she was angry, but I think this is a bit funnier. One thing I did want to point out is on these, so Kirito actually has a, I did a previous video unboxing Kirito, but his joint, or his stand fits there in the bottom, and then he has a separate one for his wings, but Leafa, on the other hand, does not. She just has one for her wings right there. There's no separate thing in the bottom, no separate hole to put her stand in. So that is the pose for the joint hands. So the joint hands did come in the package if at the beginning, if you saw when I went over the hands. Lastly, I'm just going to get some of the ALO characters together and display them, and lastly, I'm going to get a couple more of the ALO characters together and display them, and we'll see what they look like as a group. As you can see, these are the three of the characters together: Asuna, Kirito, and Leafa. I will say Leafa seems to be a bit bigger than the other two. It just seems that way. I don't know how to do an actual size comparison. It just looks like that. And she balances a bit better. Maybe the increased weight has made it where she balances a bit better. I don't know. And then also Asuna doesn't have the little hole at the bottom. I'm not sure if I'm not sure why Kirito has it. Maybe it's just because of the hilt. I'm not quite sure. And once I get around to unboxing a handful of the other characters, I'm going to take a look, and I'm going to do a comparison between all of them. I didn't want to block her face. But that is Figma 314 Leafa from, it said, like I said, it said Sword Art Online 2, but it's her ALO version. She's from the first season, so but thank you guys for watching. This is Bro S of the Halodoc Bros. Peace out.